Welcome back to the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel, where today we're diving deep into the electrifying twists set to unfold on Thursday, November 6th, as Port Charles braces for another whirlwind of secrets, betrayals, and heart-wrenching moments. Jason Morgan finds himself on high alert, his instincts screaming warnings amid Sonny Corinthus' irresistible proposition that could shift alliances in unexpected ways. Meanwhile, young Danny Morgan grapples with profound loss and frustration, turning what should be a festive Halloween into a poignant reminder of family fractures that run deeper than ever before. Danny's world feels increasingly isolated as he pours his heart into supporting his little sister, Scout Quartermaine, only to crash against the unyielding barrier of Drew Kane's protective restraining order. This legal wall isn't just a formality, it's a stark symbol of the lingering tensions from past betrayals and custody battles that have torn the Kane Quartermaine dynamic apart. Danny, with his youthful determination and unwavering sibling loyalty, yearns for even a brief moment to wrap Scout in a comforting hug, to whisper assurances that she's not alone in her grief. Halloween, typically a night of costumes and candy-fueled joy, has morphed into a bittersweet echo chamber for the siblings, amplifying the void left by their mother, Sam McCall's tragic passing. The holiday's ghosts, literal and figurative, stir up memories of Sam's vibrant spirit, her fierce love, and the way she always made ordinary moments magical, leaving Danny haunted by what-ifs and unfulfilled promises. In the midst of this emotional storm, Danny confides in Alexis Davis, his voice cracking with the weight of self-doubt as he confesses feeling like a failure in Sam's eyes for not being able to bridge the gap to Scout. Alexis, ever the empathetic anchor, with her own history of navigating family upheavals and legal minefields, draws him into a heartfelt conversation on a quiet park bench overlooking the harbor, where the salty breeze seems to carry whispers of encouragement. She gently redirects his guilt, painting Drew as the true architect of this divide, driven by his overzealous protectiveness that borders on paranoia after years of corporate intrigue and personal vendettas. Sam knew your heart, Danny. She'd never fault you for forces beyond your control, Alexis reassures him, her words laced with the wisdom of someone who's fought her own battles in courtrooms and family rooms alike. This pep talk doesn't erase the pain, but it plants a seed of resilience, hinting at future paths where Danny might find ways to reconnect, perhaps through clever circumvention or a softening of Drew's stance as holiday pressures mount. Shifting gears to the opulent yet fractured Quartermaine estate, Giovanni Joe Palmieri makes his much-anticipated return, stepping through the grand doors with a renewed sense of purpose and a duffel bag slung over his shoulder, ready to reclaim his place among the sprawling family tree. Gio's arrival isn't just a homecoming, it's a pivotal moment laced with irony, as he's eager to immerse himself in the warmth of relatives he's long admired from afar, only to walk into a Cold War zone orchestrated by the formidable Tracy Quartermaine. Tracy, in her signature no-nonsense flair, has transformed the mansion into her personal fortress, evicting the entire clan in a dramatic purge after they rallied behind the repentant Veronica Ronnie Bard, whose shady dealings have left scars deeper than any boardroom feud. Over a tense exchange in the dimly lit study, surrounded by antique portraits that seem to judge the unfolding drama, Tracy lays bare the sordid details. Martin Gray's will, once a beacon of inheritance security, was cunningly manipulated in a scam that Ronnie helped orchestrate, siphoning assets and trust like a thief in the night. Joe listens intently, his musician's fingers tapping rhythms of disbelief on the armrest, absorbing how Ronnie's remorse came too late to mend the financial wreckage or the emotional rifts it caused, perhaps even inventing a subplot where Ronnie's confession involved forged documents hidden in an old family safe, adding layers of intrigue to the Quartermaine legacy of power plays. Now sole proprietor of the sprawling Cumans, complete with its manicured gardens and echoing halls that have witnessed generations of triumphs and tragedies, Tracy stands unyielding, her eyes flashing with the fire of someone who's clawed her way through corporate jungles and personal betrayals. But Joe, with his fresh perspective untainted by the family's chronic infighting, challenges her isolationist stance, urging a thaw in the icy relations by evoking memories of past unity during crises like the ELQ takeovers or Edward's final days. He pledges his own commitment to bridge divides, suggesting family therapy sessions or a neutral gathering at the boathouse, where vulnerabilities could surface without the weight of the mansion's grandeur. This confrontation promises ripples, potentially leading to a tentative alliance that could reshape Quartermain loyalties and expose even more buried secrets from the scam's underbelly. Across town at the cozy, nostalgic Bobby's Diner still buzzing with the aroma of fresh coffee and pie despite its role as a neutral ground for heavy discussions. Damian Spinelli and Felicia Scorpio convene with Nathan West in a corner booth, their faces etched with the gravity of impending choices. Nathan, ever the dutiful cop with a soft spot for family ties forged in chaos, quickly senses the duo's reluctance to push forward with enforcing custody of young James West just yet, a decision that hangs like a storm cloud over their blended family portrait. Maxie Jones's absence, whether due to her latest modeling gig abroad or deeper personal quests, has left James craving the steady rhythm of routine, and Felicia, drawing from her own nomadic past and maternal instincts honed through decades of Scorpio adventures, advocates passionately for stability over upheaval. Spinelli, with his tech-savvy optimism and quirky charm, chimes in with data points from child psychology articles he's scoured online, emphasizing how abrupt changes could disrupt James's budding sense of security amid Port Charles's perpetual turbulence. They propose a compassionate delay, envisioning Nathan stepping back from full enforcement while carving out ample slots for father-son escapades like weekend fishing trips to the docks or arcade outings that echo Nathan's own youthful rebellions, ensuring the bond strengthens without the sting of legal battles. Nathan, torn between his badge's demands and the paternal pull that's grown since James's birth amid Maxie's whirlwind life, weighs the pros and cons, perhaps flashing back to moments of joy like teaching James his first magic trick, a nod to Spinelli's influence. Ultimately, he nods in agreement, conditional on those cherished bonding windows remaining wide open. A compromise that eases the tension and sets the stage for Maxie's return to potentially upend everything with her signature flair for the unexpected. In a bolder vein of romance laced with peril, Sonny Corinthos, the kingpin of calculated risks, entices Assistant District Attorney Justine Turner to the dimly lit hatchet-throwing range on the outskirts of town, a venue pulsing with the thrill of sharp edges and sharper banter. Sonny's invitation isn't casual. It's a masterful lure disguised as an escape from the courthouse grind, where axes fly through the air like metaphors for their clashing worlds of law and underworld. As they stand side by side, muscles tensing with each throw, Sonny's gravelly voice cuts through the tension. The door's right there if this feels too exposed, he says with a smirk that hides volumes of guarded vulnerability. Justine, no stranger to high-stakes games, after prosecuting mob cases that skirted too close to Sonny's empire, fires back with a defiant glint, admitting the adrenaline of danger is exactly what draws her in, perhaps alluding to a personal history of thrill-seeking that mirrors her courtroom bravado. Yet beneath the playful jabs and competitive scores etched on the board, an undeniable chemistry ignites sparks that transcend their mutual manipulations, where Sonny probes for weaknesses in her cases and she fishes for leverage in his operations. On this fateful Wednesday episode, their shared laughter over a near-miss throw evolves into a charged gaze, the kind that hints at forbidden territories unexplored, making viewers question if this is mere strategy or the dawn of something authentically passionate. Imagine added layers, Justine revealing a hidden tattoo from her wild college days, or Sonny sharing a rare anecdote about his Stone Cold's bar, forging a connection that blurs enemy lines and teases a slow-burn affair fraught with ethical dilemmas and mob entanglements. Finally, in the shadows of espionage and unresolved vendettas, Anna Devane's relentless pursuit takes a darker turn as she obsesses over confirming whether the nefarious Caesar Faison cheated death once more, his shadowy legacy refusing to stay buried. Faison's survival would be a nightmare reborn, evoking Anna's WSB glory days of takedowns and narrow escapes, now amplified by the personal stakes of his ties to Port Charles villains like the Casadinis. Convinced she's the only one equipped to end him permanently drawing on her marksmanship, honed in covert ops, and her unyielding moral compass, Anna unloads this bombshell on Jason Morgan. During a clandestine meet at the footbridge, her British accent sharpening with determination as she outlines surveillance plans involving old contacts and encrypted files. Jason, the ever-vigilant enforcer, whose life has been a tapestry of loyalty and loss, absorbs the revelation with growing dread, his brow furrowing as visions of past dangers flash, ambushes, betrayals, and the friends he's buried. He presses her urgently, sounding alarms about the recklessness of going solo without the backup of Dante or the Bureau, especially given Faison's history of psychological warfare that preys on isolation. Anna's resolve only hardens, but Jason's warnings plant doubts, foreshadowing the peril ahead. General Hospital spoilers tease that Anna's path leads straight to peril, as she's soon overpowered with chloroform in her vehicle, snatched into the unknown by forces tied to Faison's ghost, setting up a riveting arc of rescue, revelations, and reckonings that will keep fans glued to their screens. Next, as the leaves turn and the drama intensifies, 5 jaw-dropping twists promise to reshape alliances, ignite passions, and shatter fragile bonds among your favorite couples, drawing fans deeper into the web of intrigue that defines this iconic soap. From brewing marital storms to forbidden flirtations that could upend the entire town, these developments are crafted to keep viewers on the edge of their seats, blending heartbreak with unexpected sparks of desire. Let's kick things off with the mounting storm clouds hovering over Brooke Lynn Quartermaine and her husband, Harrison Chase, whose once solid union is cracking under the weight of divided loyalties. As Chase throws his weight behind Willow Tate in her escalating feud with Michael Corinthos, Willow's ex, and Brooke Lynn's own cousin, their shared history as former lovers and spouses bubbles to the surface like a long-buried secret resurfacing in the Quartermaine mansion. Imagine the scenes unfolding. Brooke Lynn, ever the fierce protector of her family's legacy, confronts Chase during a tense family dinner at the Quartermaine estate, her voice laced with accusation as she demands why he's abandoning their vows for a woman who once broke his heart. Chase, driven by an unyielding sense of righteousness, counters that Willow's fight against Michael's corporate machinations isn't just personal, it's a crusade against the corruption that's plagued Port Charles for generations, echoing the very injustices that first bonded him and Willow during their turbulent courtship years ago. This rift isn't mere bickering, it's a full-blown betrayal in Brooke Lynn's eyes, potentially leading her to seek solace in unexpected places, like confiding in her mother, Tracy Quartermaine, who might plot a subtle revenge to pull Chase back in line. Yet, as Chase doubles down, defending Willow with the same fervor he once reserved for his police badge, whispers of divorce papers and secret rendezvous could turn their bedroom into a battlefield, forcing Brooke Lynn to question if love can survive when justice pulls in the opposite direction. Shifting gears to the underworld of Port Charles, Sonny Corinthos and Assistant District Attorney Justine Turner are poised for a collision course of cunning and chemistry that could set the town ablaze. Their ongoing game of cat and mouse, filled with sly manipulations over legal battles and hidden agendas, is evolving into something far steamier, as stolen glances across courtroom skirmishes turn into charged encounters in dimly lit diners. Sonny, the kingpin with a notorious track record of blurring lines between enemies and lovers, sees Justine not just as an adversary in the fight against his empire, but as a formidable equal whose sharp intellect mirrors his own street-smart cunning, much like his ill-fated romance with prosecutor Claire Walsh, where whispered promises in shadowy alleys led to courtroom chaos. Picture this: during a late-night strategy session disguised as a truce meeting at Sonny's penthouse, Justine challenges him on his latest evasion tactics, only for the air to thicken with unspoken tension, their banter escalating into a heated argument that ends with lips almost brushing in a moment of raw vulnerability. But danger lurks. Justine's career hangs by a thread if their flirtation leaks, while Sonny risks exposing his vulnerabilities to a woman who wields the law like a weapon. Drawing from his past entanglements with FBI agents Reese Marshall and Hannah Scott, where passion nearly toppled his empire, Sonny might push boundaries further, perhaps inviting Justine to a private yacht getaway under the guise of negotiation, only to reveal how their mutual distrust fuels an irresistible pull hinting at an alliance that could either topple rivals or destroy them both from within. In the shadowy corners of high society, Ava Jerem's magnetic pull toward the enigmatic Jen Sidwell is forging an alliance as toxic and tantalizing as a poison chalice, destined to ripple through Port Charles like a seismic wave. Sidwell, a power broker with ties to international intrigue and a gaze that pierces like a dagger, becomes utterly captivated by Ava's unapologetic allure during an exclusive art gallery opening, where her bold critique of a controversial painting sparks their first electric exchange. He spares no expense-lavish gifts, whispered invitations to elite soirees to draw her into his orbit, sensing in Ava a partner who can match his ruthless ambition, much like how she once navigated the Jerome family's criminal underbelly with calculated grace. Ava, no stranger to danger after surviving assassination attempts and custody wars, finds herself mesmerized by Sidwell's command over shadowy networks that could shield her from ongoing threats. Yet she senses the peril in his possessive intensity, reminiscent of her volatile history with icons like Franco Baldwin. Enter Lucas Jones, Ava's steadfast friend and a voice of reason, who corners her in a heartfelt coffee shop confab, urging her to steer clear before Sidwell's web ensnares her completely, especially since Lucas's own budding romance with Sidwell's son, Marco, places him in a precarious position to monitor the unfolding drama from the inside. Despite Lucas's warnings, Ava's curiosity wins out. She attends a clandestine dinner at Sidwell's opulent villa, where flirtatious toasts hint at deeper commitments, potentially dragging her into a scandal that exposes old secrets and forges uneasy family ties. This match isn't just romance, it's a high-stakes power play that could redefine alliances in Port Charles, with Ava walking a tightrope between empowerment and entrapment. Meanwhile, Lucas Jones faces a life-altering proposition from Marco Rios that could transplant him from his familiar world into the gothic embrace of Windermere, the Casa Dini estate shrouded in ghosts of betrayals past. As their relationship blossoms amid stolen moments in hidden gardens, Marco's gentle persistence contrasting Lucas's cautious heart, the invitation arrives during a candlelit evening stroll along the cliffs, where Marco envisions a shared future free from prying eyes. Lucas hesitates, the specter of Jen Sidwell's presence in the same sprawling manner evoking memories of the Casa Dini's infamous feuds and the estate's cursed reputation, from Helena's machinations to Nicholas's disappearances. Yet, compelling forces align. Lucas's deepening affection for Marco, coupled with a protective instinct toward Ava amid her Sidwell entanglement, makes the move feel like destiny's call, allowing him to safeguard his friend while nurturing his own happiness. Adding fuel to the fire, Jocelyn Jacks, ever the resourceful operative in a covert WSB assignment, is tasked with infiltrating Lucas's circle to unearth intel on the Sidwell dynasty. She casually drops hints during a girls' night out, painting the relocation as a strategic masterstroke that could yield crucial insights into Marco's family secrets, insights that her handler, Jack Brennan, craves to dismantle potential threats. Jocelyn's encouragement isn't selfless, it's laced with her own agenda, perhaps even sparking a subplot where she and Lucas form an unlikely alliance against larger conspiracies. Ultimately, Lucas's yes could unlock Windermere's hidden chambers, blending romance with espionage in ways that promise revelations about buried treasures and long-lost relatives, transforming the estate from a haunt into a haven. Rounding out these romantic roller coasters, Michael Corinthos and Jacinda Bracken are gearing up for an evening that blurs the lines between pretense and passion. potentially rewriting their scripted facade into something profoundly real. Under the guise of bolstering their public image amid Michael's corporate battles, they opt for a romantic dinner at the elegant Metro Court, where candlelight dances across crystal glasses and soft jazz underscores their feigned affection, convincing onlookers from Carly to the tabloid vultures that theirs is a love story for the ages. But as the night unfolds, with Michael sharing vulnerable tales of his Corinthos heritage and Jacinda opening up about her Bracken family pressures, the chemistry ignites. A simple touch across the table evolves into lingering stares, hinting at the authenticity they've both craved beneath the performance. This isn't just a meal, it's a turning point, where Michael's guarded heart, scarred from losses, like his time with Willow, finds solace in Jacinda's fiery spirit, much like how she once navigated her own betrayals with unyielding resolve. By dessert, as they stroll the moonlit docks, a spontaneous kiss could seal the shift, leading to a private sweet rendezvous that explores uncharted territories of trust and desire, far removed from the manipulations that initially bound them. In Port Charles, where facades crumble under scrutiny, this date's enchantment might herald a genuine partnership, one that withstands Sonny's skepticism and Jacinda's familial demands, evolving into a force that stabilizes Michael's turbulent world. General Hospital enthusiasts, brace yourselves, these 5 twists are merely the tip of the iceberg for November's cascade of couple-centric chaos, packed with betrayals, breakthroughs, and breathtaking connections that will leave no storyline untouched. Tune in daily to witness how these romantic entanglements unfold, twisting fates and fueling the endless drama that keeps Port Charles pulsing with life.